a while since I've been on this channel, hasn't it? Yeah, feels like it's been almost a year. Well, a couple of things have happened since the last video I made. A couple of family issues, a couple of technical problems with making these videos. However, all that stuff has been taken care of, and I can get back to making Remember This episodes. So, let's get started. As a child, I watched a lot of Dr. Seuss cartoons, such as How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Cat in the Hat, and of course, The Lorax. And I watched a couple that were not based off of books, such as The Grinch is the Cat in the Hat, and Halloween is a Grinch Night. I did not mean for those last two to be Grinch related, but there seemed to be one cartoon in particular that nobody ever seemed to talk about. So today, we're going to go over Pontoffel Pock and his magical piano. Or also known by its alternative title, Pontoffel Pock, Where Are You? I remember watching this as part of a marathon leading up to In Search of Dr. Seuss as a kid, and it was a cartoon. I really did not think anything special about it. In fact, it kind of just came and went for me. It was a nice little cartoon, but it didn't really stick out to me too much. I don't know why that is. However, let's see how Pontoffel Pock holds up today.
I always had wanted a nice, happy job.
So I decided to work at a pickle factory. Here we're introduced to Pontoffel on his first day at the pickle factory, and what exactly do you do at a pickle factory?
My boy, making pickles is easy as pie.
No. Making pie is as easy as pie. Making pickles is as easy as, making pickles?
This is the pull'em, and this is the push'em.
No, I'm not touching that one. But no worries, training involves a song and dance to go along with it.
Just pull on and pull 'em, and push on and push 'em, and the pickles go into the jars.
What a wonderful way to spend every day. You should thank your lucky stars.
Isn't mindless labor fun? Also, I notice how every factory worker except Mr. Giggler himself has red hair. Make of that what you will. And with how catchy that job training song was, you'd think it'd be easy to memorize, right? Nope! Pontoffel messes everything up quite a bit by pulling on the push-em and pushing on the pull-em. Yeah, if he did this horribly so far, I hate to see what his job application looked like. Of course, add insult to injury, the entire factory malfunctions and floods. Pontoffel then gets fired, and honestly, I think the person who set up this factory in such a way should be fired instead. But hey, I'm sure they'll be nice about it and want him to come back sometime.
And never come back, and never come back, and never come back.
Or not. Pontoffel wallows in his joblessness on his way home, and his home is really run down. And how do we make this better? How about making a song where Pontoffel sings about how much his life sucks?
The termites were munching the staircase as I climbed to the very top shelf of the house that my family had left me, alone, all alone by myself.
Your family left you this house? I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think they like you too much. So after that, Pontoffel wishes he could get away from it all. And whoa, I think Pontoffel's been taking some drugs. Well, actually, this guy named McGillicuddy floats in offering Pontoffel some help. And by offering to help, I mean annoyingly sing to him.
We have branches all the way from Boston to Bangkok, Baltimore, Bangladesh, and even down to Buenos Aires.
And I mean annoyingly sing to him.
And we put about seeking out unhappy people like you.
Make it stop! How does McGillicuddy decide to help Pontoffel get away from his problems? With a magical piano, of course. Because when life sucks for me, I don't think about driving away or anything like that. I think about flying away using Steinway and Sons. McGillicuddy explains that the piano flies to a location depending on which button he chooses. Because Dr. Seuss. Also, for some reason, the buttons don't have labels on them. I can't see anything going wrong with that. So Pontoffel goes off to Grogan, aka not Switzerland, where all they do is wear lederhosen and listen to polka music.
Welcome to Grogan, big like a balloon, yay, hey, oh, yay, oh,
this cartoon's not racist.
Come to Grogan, yay, hey. Every day is the 15th of May.
Every day is the 15th of May? Are these people extras from the movie Groundhog Day? That sounds horrible.
I'm here, Pontoffel!
Welcome, Pontoffel!
Wait a second, how do they know his name?
They know me?
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one confused. So suddenly Pontoffel decides what any tourist would do. He wrecks everything. I mean, look at him. He's being a jerk for no reason.
That smart Alex on that piano is my flugelhorn got busted.
Your flugelhorn got busted?
Oh no, not the flugelhorn! Actually, I don't care. As you would expect, the Groganites are not too happy that a magical piano man is flying around and terrorizing them, so they go up to their leader, who I swear is Q and Frollo's love child. Opening up their copy of Splatoon early, they decide to load up the gluey gun, which for some reason can make magical pianos stop flying. Thankfully, Pontoffel remembers to hit the homing pigeon switch, and he flies back home slowly. And when he's back home, the piano is red again for some reason, and McGillicuddy is angry at him for abusing a non-suspecting country, and starts to take his piano back. I didn't know he was just lending the piano. However, Pontoffel says he's sorry, and, well, apparently that's good enough for McGillicuddy. Though his buddies disagree.
Schnook gets a second chance.
Shut up! I am the senior fairy in this squadron.
Wait a minute, you guys are supposed to be fairies? Isn't that it? Oh, never mind. This time he ends up in Not Agrabah, where he comes across...
Nipa Pipa!
Can you tell me that name again?
Nipa Pipa!
Oh, say that again.
Nipa Pipa!
Anyway, he comes across Fiffer-feffer, who is regarded as the world's famous eyeball dancer, and perhaps the only eyeball dancer. Really, what is an eyeball dancer? There's something about that sounds dangerous. However, eyeball dancing is not the only thing Fiffer-feffer can do. She can also give seizures.
They're seeing someone that they hope to see much more.
I think at last I found my answer.
Wait a minute, did they fall in love? Is that what just happened? Did that really just happen? As much as people rag on Disney princesses for falling in love so quickly, at least they have some kind of interaction going on with their prince. But here, they fall in love just because they felt like it, I guess. Well, since Pontoffel is so in love with Fiffer-feffer, he decides to follow her into the castle, which usually would be a death sentence. But hey, the security's so great, he could just waltz in. Oh boy, now we get to see that eyeball dancing.
Optic, optic, ring around the rosy. How I hate working for this royal.
That's not eyeball dancing! What is it? No, that's not! I changed my mind! And I also love how she's singing about how much she hates dancing for the king, or at least I think it's only dancing for the king, and he seems to be fine with it. Though I think he's too stoned off his mind to care. So Pontoffel decides because she hates her job too, he's gonna take her away from the palace. Luckily she's being very subtle about how she wants to go with him. But she also insults him too.
Ooh, he's not very handsome. Ooh, he's not very tall.
Jerk. And because Pontoffel is so SMRT, he outright runs off with Fiffer-feffer in front of the king. He takes it pretty well though.
Guard! Apprehend them!
After a hilarious chase scene, the guards somehow not only beat Pontoffel back to his piano, but they also got him surrounded too. But they decide not to apprehend him for some reason.
Have no fear, Nipa-Pipa. All I gotta do is switch this homing pigeon switch. Yeah. No twitch 'em, switch 'em.
First of all, where did you come from? Second, Pontoffel, why did you just stand there instead of flying away? Third,
Yeah.
what are you, 5? Also, is there any reason he can't pull the rest of the switch? Well, since they're so adamant about how they can't go back home, Pontoffel presses another button to escape from the palace. However, since medical pianos lack seatbelts, Nifa falls off, and now Pontoffel has to figure out which button corresponds to going back to her. That's why there's no labels on the buttons. It's all for the sake of conflict. Actually, that's still stupid. Meanwhile, the fairies are trying to track the piano down with the help of the Great Fairy, who apparently has a tracking device installed into said piano. The Great Fairy's always watching. So he sends out the reserves while Fiffer-feffer is on the roof for some reason, and a hilarious song and chase breaks out.
Yeah. Has that dropout dropped into the sea? Could he be in some Indian wigwam?
Eventually he ends up in China without getting any pneumonia from all that rain. Luckily he remembered the color that corresponded to Fiffer-feffer, so he heads back and crashes into the exact rooftop she's on. Without a scratch, by the way. I watched this a couple times and I'm pretty sure he never gave her his name. But that's not important. Fiffer decides to wish to get away from... Ugh! Lady, I think you need a makeup artist than you need to get away from it all. And suddenly more seizures happen.
Fiffer-feffer, your wish has been heard, and your wish has been granted.
So he's a genie now too? Oh, and they sing again. Next! So we're back at the pickle factory where Pontoffel got his job back for reasons, and he also got Fiffer a job too. And everybody's happy. So Pontoffel Pock is actually an entertaining cartoon. I mean, there was parts where I scratched my head and it got pretty weird, but hey, I thought it was kind of fun. The colors they used in this were really nice and whimsical, and it kind of reminded me of all the places you can go a bit. And the songs themselves are rather catchy too, or at least most of them. And considering the fact that the words were written by Dr. Seuss, it's actually understandable why it's good. Now I have a question. What was the lesson of this story? Isn't Dr. Seuss' work supposed to have some kind of life lesson to go with it? Pontoffel does a lot of questionable things throughout the entire film, but he only apologizes for it once. In fact, he gets rewarded with his job back and a girlfriend for rushing a palace. So, yeah, the lesson is non-existent, I guess. Despite that, I find it to be a neat little Dr. Seuss cartoon I can recommend to everyone. Copies of the VHS version is pretty cheap, while the DVD version of the Lorax should have it as a special feature. Sorry I haven't been too active on this channel in quite some time, but all that have changed, and I'm back. So, look out for some game reviews, some anime reviews, for any kind of reviews. So, until the next time, catch you later. As a child, I watched a lot of Dr. Seuss-based cartoons, such as How the Grinch Stole the Cat in the Hat,